So in the first section of the course, you met what's really inside the seemingly benign transparency of tap liquid. So now let's explore the ways in which we can bring this substance back to life and uplift it back into its natural state of cleanliness and vibrancy. And the first step for water from your home plumbing is filtration. Whether for cooking, bathing, or even just watering your plants, filtration is key. After all, if you don't get a filter, you'll become the filter. Now, there are so many methods of filtration, all of which have their unique benefits and drawbacks. Overall, I recommend carbon filters. You can find really great ones on the Natural Action website. So, how does nature filter water? When uplifting and ennobling water, what we're really doing is bringing her back to her natural state. So we want to mimic nature as much as possible to recreate naturally whole, healthy, balanced water. So let's take a look at how nature filters and purifies water. So think about the hydrological cycle. As water seeps through the ground, this can take thousands of years for water on the surface to reach the deep aquifers in some cases. And the first thing that water encounters when it falls from the sky is the atmosphere, which pulls off a lot of the pollution, and then it hits the ground where it's cleaned up by the soil, microbes, roots, funguses, etc. Then about 60 feet of sand, which filters larger particulates. Then it reaches a layer of clay, which of course is detoxifying. That's why we use bentonite clay for cleansing our intestines and clay masks to clean our faces, etc. It's why geophagy is such a healing practice. After the clay, water comes to carbon deposits. And again, we know that carbon detoxifies. That's why we like to use carbon in water filters. Then it's stored in a dark, cold aquifer or underground lake for sometimes thousands of years in the womb of the earth as the planet's own internal bloodstream, nourished by the geomagnetic influences of rock formations. So that's the underground hydrological cycle. And there's also a hydrological cycle that takes place above ground to filter, structure, and balance water. Wetlands, in particular, are key to the Earth's filtration process. Between the filtration processes of wetlands, forests, geological filtration, evaporation and condensation, not to mention the filtration that happens from volcanic plumes deep on the ocean floor, we can learn a lot from nature about how to structure our own filtration systems for drinking water at home. So how can we mimic nature in creating an ideal water filtration process? How can you filter water yourself? Well, again, my best advice is to forego the need for filtration altogether by harvesting your own raw, wild, unprocessed water directly from a spring. But insofar as we sometimes have to drink tap liquid and usually need to shower in it, I strongly recommend investing in a high-quality filter. A good filter can last a lifetime, and having high-quality water is the most foundational aspect of health. So it's really not something to scrimp on. You're worth the investment. You and your family deserve the best liquid source of life. And as with everything regarding water, we want to mimic nature. Nature uses carbon deposits as well as soil and other mineral filtration in the earth, so carbon block filters are a great option. In particular, you can check out the carbon block filters on the NAT website under the filtration tab. Now that's it for filtration. Hopefully now you have a bit more of a well-rounded understanding of the factors and methods at play when it comes to removing harmful junk from your water. But remember, water quality is much more than just the quantity of how much parts per million of XYZ is present. Water quality is almost more important, or what quality of structure and vibration does the water have, and what information has it absorbed. So stay tuned for the next module, where we'll discuss the crucial quality factor of water structure in greater detail. Meanwhile, stay hydrated.